asked my entire social media community of 13 million followers, what is the smelliest smell you've ever smelt in the hospital? And over 3,000 of you commented and shared your story. Starting with number 10, the smell of dirty skin when taking off a cast. Yes. Months of unwashed skin will smell like rotten milk. When I got my cast off, my doctor said, go wash your cheese hand. Yummy. Number 9, unwashed skin folds. Yes. Homeless, obese ICU patient coded and passed away. When we lifted the folds of skin, the foul smell was horrible. Come on, skin on skin action on top of a dead body, it's gonna smell. Smegma under foreskin. Oh yes! Sounds delicious. You know what else smells? Unwashed, sweaty underboob. I can't tell you how many times I've had to do an EKG and put stickers right under the boob. The stink from an unwashed, sweaty underboob just smacks you right in the face. Kinda miss that smell. Number 8, old people falling and left on the floor for too long. This happens a lot. Old people who live alone, if they fall and they can't get up, they will have no choice but to pee and poop on top of themselves until somebody realizes, hey, we haven't heard from grandma in like 3 days. 2-day-old crusty poop on an old lady who fell in her home, pooped herself, and wasn't discovered till 3 days later. My COVID respirator smelled like poop permanently after that, no matter how much Vicks I used. Poor old people. Check on your grandma and grandpas and your neighbors. Check on anyone that's old and alone. It's sad. Number 7, lost tampons. I will never understand how this happens. One afternoon, a stench like no other wafted through the entire clinic. Physician found an old tampon in the patient that had forgotten about putting it in at the end of her last period 2 months prior. How? Doesn't it feel weird? I'll never know. Patient had continued to have sex with it in. When I removed it, a lot of green stuff followed. I've had patients in the ER who have sex with the tampon in. What? Retained tampon for 2 months after 2 fresh ejaculations were enjoyed in the 6 hours before she came in for her pelvic. He told her she felt squishier than she should be. Oh my god. Can you smell it? No joke, some of the smelliest smells come from women. Number 6, an unattended ostomy bag. Ooh yeah, that'll smell. An ostomy bag collects poop out of the side of your stomach. If your colon, aka the part where the poop comes out of your beehole, gets messed up, the doctors will make a hole in your stomach, pull out a part of your intestine there so you can poop out of your stomach and into a bag. The entire procedure is called a colostomy. I had a patient that had an ostomy in her stomach and she came in one day without getting it cleaned and it was overfull and smelled like a porta potty on a hot summer day at a weekend concert. Burned my nose for 2 hours. Porta potties at summer music festivals, that's gotta be on the list. Number 5, cervical cancer patients and unwashed vag. Ladies, you are killing this list. A patient who had cervical cancer, stage 4, her insides were basically leaking out of her vagina. Unfortunately, one of the smelliest smells is cervical cancer. I still remember the first time I smelled it. I was working as a medical assistant. I had just gotten out of the elevator and it immediately hit my face. I walked straight to the break room, started breathing again because I was holding my breath, and I asked my coworkers, yo, what is that? And I found out that that is what cervical cancer smells like. It's kind of sad, but also, woo, stinky. Number 4, infected tissue. Something about bacteria eating tissue. They form this odorous smell. Homeless patient infected with foot maggots, mud, and dirt from recent rain. Ugh, maggots. It's probably one of the grossest things that you can encounter in the ER. The maggots don't smell. The infected foot does. Abscess on a woman's face that when the doctor opened it, it shot across the bed towards her feet. The smell burns itself in your nostrils. An abscess is full of pus. What was flying across the bed towards her feet was the pus coming out of her abscess. Pus smells. I got pus on my arm once. I scrubbed that thing down to the bone. I almost lost an arm that day. A young man who beheaded a hamster and funneled it into his rectum! We extracted it piece by piece when he was rushed in 5 days later, nearly dying of a septic infection. What the f***? Is that real? Of all the things to stick up your rectum, Number 3, GI bleeds. Yes. GI stands for gastrointestinal tract, and that is the passage from your mouth all the way down to your beehole. And if you are bleeding anywhere in there, you're kind of screwed. We can't see it, and we won't know that you're bleeding inside until your vitals get all wonky or the blood starts coming out from either end. It's gonna smell really bad. If it comes out your mouth, it's a combination of digested and coagulated blood, and it will look like bloody coffee grounds. If it comes out your butt, it's gonna look like black tar with hints of red. That's like one of the worst smells. A combination of digested blood and poop. Oh yeah. GI bleed, diarrhea in a bedpan I had to wash. Lower GI bleeds are a rough one for me. I'd rather smell nasty infected wounds over that any day. They're pretty close, but yeah, I think I would rather deal with the smell of infected wounds over GI bleeds out of the butt. Number 2, C. diff. Yes, this is at the top of every healthcare worker's list. C. diff is basically an infection in the colon that will make your poop smell really bad. It's a combination of infection and poop. And the worst part about all of this is C. diff is highly contagious via touch. I know you're not supposed to touch poop in the first place, but you definitely don't want to touch C. diff poop. If we have to go see a C. diff patient, we are gowning up from head to toe, like heavy duty. It's very contagious. At one point in the ER during COVID, we were gowning up more heavily for C. diff than COVID. I was more afraid of getting C. diff than getting COVID. Nursing home C. diff with explosive diarrhea. Yep, nope. Every nursing home patient is assumed to have C. diff until proven innocent. C. diff combined with the largest penis abscess that had 1 million maggots coming out of it. Why is there always maggots? And how did it get to the penis? Woo! C. diff with an infected bed sore awaiting wound vac and hadn't been properly bed bath for at least 2 days. That definitely came out of a nursing home. C. diff smells bad. I hope you never have to experience it. And last on our list, number 1, dead tissue, necrotic tissue, and gangrene. Basically dead body parts. Dead body parts left unattended smell the worst. You really can't do much about it. Gangrenous foot wound in a diabetic patient. Took the shoe off to look at the foot. Skin came off with shoe plus maggots. Why is there maggots again? The most common place for necrotic dead tissue, the foot, because of diabetes, so watch your sugar. Necrotic foot, wet gangrene, and dry on the same patient. His toe fell off in my hand when I changed the dressing. How sad. My boyfriend has necrosis, dead tissue, all the way down both of his shins. Refuses to see a doctor or go to the hospital out of fear of losing his legs. The smell is putrid. My guy. I mean, at that point the legs are kinda useless. It's like Gregory House. He refused to amputate one leg, now he lives the rest of his life as an old grouch. Necrotic uterus that had to be surgically removed. She came in with a C-section pad and a little bit of blood that was bloody pus seeping from the wound. Part of the placenta hadn't been taken out and it rotted her uterus away. No! Why? Oh, come on! We're back to it. It's the uterus. It's the vagina. Such a happy place where miracles happen, but also where the smelliest of all smells can come from. And that's our video. Thank you everyone for commenting and sharing their story. Please like, subscribe, and share. Turn on that notification bell, and I will see you next time.